In the year 2025, money is no longer just minted in government vaults or printed by central banks. It's being generated, line by line, algorithm by algorithm, by artificial intelligence. And the ones cashing in? A new class of billionaires. For decades, tech titans rose to power by building operating systems, search engines, and social networks. But AI is different. It isn't just a product, it's a money machine. From chatbots that write code to algorithms that trade stocks, AI is producing value at a speed and scale the world has never seen. In Silicon Valley boardrooms, deals worth billions are sealed not over factories or oil fields, but over models and datasets. Venture capitalists are racing to fund the next breakthrough, while established giants like Microsoft, Google, and Amazon pour billions into AI labs, knowing every improvement means another river of profit. But behind the headlines of record valuations and soaring stock prices lies a deeper story, one that raises uncomfortable questions. Who really benefits from AI's wealth? What happens to ordinary workers when algorithms do their jobs faster, cheaper, and better? And could the same technology creating billionaires also destabilize entire economies? This is the story of how AI became the new printing press for money, and why the riches it creates might come at a cost none of us can ignore. So how exactly is AI printing money for tech giants? Start with the cloud. Every time a business plugs into AI tools, whether it's generating marketing copy, designing products, or analyzing customer data, the bill runs through servers owned by giants like Microsoft Azure, Amazon Web Services, or Google Cloud. It's like a toll road. The more cars drive, the more money the owners collect. Then there's automation. Banks now use AI to scan millions of transactions for fraud in real time. Hospitals use AI to read scans faster than doctors. Factories deploy AI-powered robots to handle tasks that once took dozens of human workers. Each innovation saves corporations millions, money that flows back into shareholder profits. Advertising? It's turbocharged. AI algorithms predict not just what you might buy, but when, how, and why. The precision is eerie and frightening. But for platforms like Meta and Google, it's a goldmine. Every click, every scroll, every pause on a video becomes fuel for profits. And let's not forget the arms race in finance. Hedge funds deploy AI to read market signals invisible to humans, making trades in microseconds. Gains that once took weeks now happen in seconds. Billions skimmed from the edges of the market, invisible to you, monumental to them. This is why AI feels less like a tool and more like a mint. Every application becomes a stream of cash. Every advance opens another river of profit. But the speed of this revolution leaves one glaring question. What happens to everyone who isn't on the inside? For the billionaires of Silicon Valley, AI is a rocket ship. But for millions of ordinary people, it feels more like turbulence. Jobs that once seemed safe are vanishing. Copywriters replaced by chatbots. Customer service reps replaced by voice assistants. Even coders, once untouchable in the tech hierarchy, now watch as AI writes and debugs entire programs in seconds. The wealth AI generates doesn't flow evenly. It pools at the very top. When Google or Microsoft announces new AI features, stock prices soar. Shareholders celebrate. Executives cash out. But the average worker? They face layoffs, shrinking wages, and a growing sense of uncertainty about where they fit in this new economy. It's not just about jobs. It's about power. Whoever owns the models owns the future. And right now, those models are concentrated in the hands of a few tech empires and the billionaires who run them. The gap widens. The top 1% see their wealth balloon, while the middle class struggles to adjust. Politicians debate regulation, but by the time laws are written, the technology has already sprinted ahead. And so the world stares at a paradox, a future overflowing with wealth, yet one where most people feel poorer than ever. This is the hidden cost of AI's money printing machine. It doesn't just create billionaires. It risks creating an economy where everyone else feels expendable. Behind the headlines about AI billionaires are real people, tech leaders who've positioned themselves as gatekeepers of the future. Take the executives at Microsoft. By pouring billions into OpenAI, they didn't just invest in a company. They bought a front-row seat to the AI revolution. Every improvement in ChatGPT or Copilot drives demand for Microsoft's cloud services, and with it, staggering profits. Then there's Google. Long criticized for moving too slowly, it now treats AI like a survival mission. Bard and Gemini aren't just experiments. They're weapons in a battle to defend its empire of search, ads, and data. Every successful AI product keeps Google at the center of the digital universe. And don't forget Amazon. With AI deeply woven into logistics, Alexa, and cloud services, Amazon isn't just selling products, it's shaping consumer behavior itself. But the new billionaires aren't only CEOs of old giants. They're startup founders whose models break through, whose algorithms set new benchmarks. In 2025, valuations for AI startups hit the tens of billions overnight. Young entrepreneurs, barely out of their 20s, join the ranks of the super-rich almost instantly. It feels like the oil rush of the 19th century or the dot-com boom of the 90s. But this time, the resource isn't oil or websites. It's intelligence itself. And just like every boom in history, the question isn't just who strikes gold, but who gets left in the dust. While billionaires see their fortunes multiply, ordinary families are living a very different story. Picture Maria, a single mom working as a customer support agent. For years, she's answered phone calls, solved problems, and built a career. But in 2025, her company announces layoffs. Why? Because a new AI system can handle twice as many calls at a fraction of the cost. Or James, a junior copywriter fresh out of college. He dreamed of working in advertising. Now he watches as clients swap entire creative teams for AI that can generate campaigns in minutes. The career ladder he hoped to climb seems to have vanished. For them, AI doesn't feel like a miracle. It feels like a threat. And here's the paradox. At the same time, AI tools can help regular people too. Side hustlers use AI to design logos, write proposals, or create entire businesses online. Investors use AI apps to track spending, automate investments, and find hidden opportunities. The divide isn't about access. The apps are out there for everyone. The divide is about mindset. The billionaires see AI as leverage, as a force multiplier. Too many ordinary people see it as competition and get left behind. The uncomfortable truth. In the age of AI, doing nothing is the most dangerous choice. Because while billionaires are using it to print money, standing still means watching the gap grow wider every single day. As AI creates new billionaires almost overnight, governments and societies are left scrambling to respond. In Washington, some politicians call for an AI wealth tax, arguing that if machines replace millions of workers, the corporations profiting should give more back to the people. Others warn that heavy-handed regulation could slow innovation and hand the advantage to rivals like China. Meanwhile, unions demand protections for workers displaced by automation. They argue it's not fair that profits soar while ordinary families struggle with shrinking job prospects. Protests erupt in cities where layoffs hit hardest, with signs reading, "We can't compete with robots." At the same time, regulators debate how to control the technology itself. Should AI be treated like a public utility, regulated for fairness and access? Or should it remain in the private sector, where competition drives progress? Globally, the story is no different. In Europe, leaders push for strict data and transparency rules. In Asia, governments race to build their own AI champions, unwilling to let Silicon Valley control the future. But no matter the policies, one truth remains. The speed of AI's rise outpaces the speed of regulation. By the time laws are debated, new breakthroughs already shift the landscape. It leaves societies in a dangerous middle ground, where billionaires thrive, but ordinary people feel abandoned. And that tension begs the question, can we find balance before the gap becomes unbridgeable? Why do people call AI a money-printing machine? Because it mirrors every great economic revolution in history. Think back to the oil boom of the 19th century. Oil was cheap, abundant, and suddenly essential. The families who controlled it, Rockefeller, Carnegie, Standard Oil, became unimaginably wealthy. The resource was fuel, but also power. Then came the internet. In the late 90s, websites and online platforms looked like novelties. But within a decade, they reshaped entire industries. Those who own the platforms, Google, Amazon, Facebook built empires on digital traffic. Now it's AI's turn. Except this time, the resource isn't oil or traffic. It's intelligence, algorithms that learn, models that adapt, systems that never sleep. Whoever controls them doesn't just control a product, they control a force that can be applied to almost anything. Medicine, law, finance, art, defense. That's why investors describe AI as exponential. Oil created new industries. The internet created new platforms. But AI creates new possibilities across every industry at once. And just like oil and the internet, the early winners are locking in dominance. The billionaires of 2025 aren't just rich. They're laying the foundations for power that could last for decades. But here's the warning history gives us. Every boom eventually faces a reckoning. Oil brought monopolies. The internet brought bubbles and crashes. The question is, what storm will follow AI's golden age? The future of AI wealth could unfold in two very different directions. In the first scenario, call it the utopia, AI becomes the great equalizer. Tools that once belonged only to billion-dollar corporations become available to everyone. A teenager in a small town can start a global business from their laptop. A family drowning in debt can use AI advisors to rebuild their finances. Productivity soars, costs fall, and society as a whole grows richer. In this world, AI billionaires still exist, but so do millions of AI-powered entrepreneurs. Wealth spreads. Opportunity multiplies. The rising tide really does lift all boats. But then there's the dystopia. A future where a handful of companies monopolize the most powerful models. They dictate who gets access, who gets shut out, and what the rules are. The rich grow unimaginably richer, while everyone else rents intelligence the way tenants rent apartments, paying forever, owning nothing. In this world, algorithms don't just run businesses. They run lives. They decide who gets a loan, who gets hired, even who's considered trustworthy. Power concentrates, inequality deepens, and the middle class slowly evaporates. Which scenario plays out depends not just on the tech giants, but on governments, societies, and ordinary people. Because the future of AI isn't written in code. It's written in choices. Here's the uncomfortable truth. AI is already minting billionaires. The question is, will it also mint opportunity for you? The tech giants will keep expanding. Their models will grow smarter, their profits will soar higher, and their control will deepen. That part of the story feels inevitable. But what isn't inevitable is how the rest of us respond. You can watch from the sidelines, scrolling headlines about record valuations, layoffs, and fortunes built in boardrooms you'll never see. Or you can step onto the field, not as a billionaire, but as someone who uses the same tools to build your own advantage. Because AI is leverage. It can make the strong stronger, yes, but it can also give ordinary people extraordinary power if they choose to learn, adapt, and act. History is clear. Every revolution leaves behind winners and losers. Those who saw the oil boom early, who understood the internet before it went mainstream, they didn't just survive, they thrived. The AI revolution is no different. The billionaires are already here. The real question is, what will you do while the printing press of the 21st century is still running hot? Will you let it widen the gap, or use it to build your own bridge to the future? The choice, as always, is yours.